Sometimes, the answers people seek are hidden in places they were warned never to enter. And sometimes, the ancestors hide secrets not to protect themselves, but to protect you. Today's story is about a young hunter who ignored one warning and discovered a truth that changed his village forever. This story is the Forbidden Forest of Omu. So, sit back, relax, and listen. But before we start, if you're new here, welcome to African Folktale Hub, where we tell strange, mysterious, and mind-bending stories from across Africa. Please subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell. Let's dive into. Today's story is one of the oldest. In the far east of Nigeria, that silence had a name. Omu, the Forbidden Forest. The elders warned. No one enters Omu after sunset, not even the spirits dare. Obiajalu, a 17-year-old hunter, heard something that changed everything. The sacred ancestor mask was missing, and the trail led into Omu, a place no elder would dare enter. So that night, under a rising moon, Obiajalu stepped into the forest that eats sound and does not always return the people it takes. The moment Obiajalu entered Omu, the forest closed behind him like a mouth swallowing its meal. The temperature dropped instantly. His breath fogged. The ground felt soft, almost alive. He walked slowly, scanning between trees. The moonlight barely reached the forest floor, making shadows stretch like long, dark fingers. Then, he heard it. A whisper. Soft. Thin. Almost like a voice carried by a breeze. But there was no breeze. He turned sharply. Nothing. He kept walking. The whisper came again, closer now. Leave. Obiajalu froze. His heart thudded loud enough, he feared the forest could hear it. He forced himself forward, but the deeper he went, the louder the whispers grew. Dozens of them. Swirling. Overlapping. Almost chanting. Not welcome, turn back, go. He gripped his bow. Every instinct screamed run. But pride whispered keep going. Then he saw it. Footprints. In the soil. Small, barefoot. Leading deeper into the forest. He crouched. The prints were recent, fresh enough to still hold their shape. So, someone else had entered Omu. He followed the prints carefully, stepping over roots, ducking under branches, until the footprints abruptly stopped. Just stopped. In the middle of the pass. As if whoever made them had vanished. Obiajalu looked up slowly. And that's when he saw her. A girl. Standing between two twisted trees. Barefoot. Skin faintly glowing. Eyes reflecting firefly light. And not a single footprint beneath her. The girl tilted her head slightly, studying him. Why are you here? She whispered. Obiajalu's voice trembled. I seek the ancestor mask. She stepped closer without making a sound. Not one leaf crunched beneath her feet. You entered a place that rejects the living, she said softly. Obiajalu swallowed. Who are you? The girl didn't answer. Instead, she turned and began walking deeper into the forest. Follow me. He hesitated. Every part of his body said no. His curiosity said yes. He followed. The trees seemed to rearrange themselves as she walked, clearing a path only for her. He glanced down. Still no footprints. They reached a small clearing, where blue flowers glowed like fallen stars. The girl stopped. This place remembers everything, she said. Everything you've seen, everything you hide. Obiajalu frowned. Why bring me here? She faced him. So the forest can decide if you are worthy to continue. The ground beneath him vibrated. His vision blurred. Then, memories erupted around him like smoke. His father teaching him to hunt. His mother singing at dawn. His childhood laughter. His mistakes. His fears. And then, a memory he always avoided. His father's death. Obiagelu gasped. The pain hit like a spear. He fell to his knees, choking on grief he thought he'd hidden. The whispers of the forest grew louder. Face it, release it. His chest tightened. Tears streamed. But inside the pain, something loosened. When he finally opened his eyes, the visions were gone. The girl nodded once. Now you may continue. The girl walked again, and the forest parted for her like water. Obiagelu followed, still shaken, but lighter in a way he couldn't explain. The path grew darker. The trees stretched taller. Shadows moved in unnatural patterns. Then suddenly, the girl stopped. She pointed ahead, at a massive tree, so tall its branches vanished into the darkness above. Its bark was black as charcoal, pulsing faintly. The ancestors hid something inside this tree, she whispered. But to retrieve it, you must not fear what guards it. Obiagelu's pulse quickened. What guards it? She slowly backed away. When you face it, you will know. Then, she vanished. Not walked away. Not faded. Just disappeared. Obiagelu stared at the tree, throat dry. A deep rumbling growl rose from behind it. Something huge moved in the shadows. Something with breathing so heavy. It shook the leaves around him. He slowly lifted his bow. The growling grew louder. Whatever was coming wasn't human. A massive shape stepped out from behind the sacred tree. Obiagelu staggered back. It had a body like a panther, but bigger, much bigger. Its fur was dark and smoky, shifting like mist. Its eyes glowed gold, and its face was carved like an ancestral mask. A guardian spirit. Obiagelu whispered, Ungine. The creature growled, lowering its head. It wasn't attacking, but it wasn't welcoming either. The guardian circled him slowly, sniffing the air around him, as if smelling his past, his intentions, his fears. Obiagelu forced his breath to steady. He remembered the girl's words. Do not fear what guards it. He lowered his bow. The guardian stopped, tilted its head, then stepped aside, revealing a hollow space inside the massive tree trunk. Inside the hollow, a faint glow pulsed. The mask. The ancestor mask. Obiagelu stepped forward slowly, but the guardian suddenly growled, blocking him again. It stared directly into his eyes. And for a split second, Obiagelu heard a voice in his mind. Prove your spirit is clean. The guardian pressed its forehead to his. Instantly, Obiagelu's mind exploded with visions again. Not memories this time, but truths he didn't want to see. His pride, his anger, his doubts. He cried out, but didn't pull away. The guardian pushed deeper, until suddenly, everything went silent. The guardian stepped back, then bowed. The tree cracked open, and the sacred mask floated gently toward him. Obiagelu reached out, hand trembling, and touched it. The moment his hand touched the mask, reality shattered. Obiagelu screamed as the world folded around him. He was no longer in Omu. He was standing in a sky filled with drifting ancestral spirits, their bodies made of smoke and starlight. One spirit stepped forward, an elder with deep eyes that carried centuries. Child of the living, he said. You seek the mask, but do you know what it holds? Obiagelu shook his head. The spirit raised a hand. The mask turned in Obiagelu's palm, glowing brightly. This mask does not protect your village, the spirit said. It imprisons something. Obiagelu felt his stomach drop. What does it imprison? The spirit's expression hardened. A curse. A curse older than your elders will admit. A curse bound by us, but weakened by time. Obiajalu's breath hitched. So, returning the mask to the village frees the curse. No, the spirit said. Removing it from its resting place frees the curse. Obiajalu's heart slammed. His voice cracked. But I already removed it. The spirit's face darkened. Yes, which means something dangerous. Now walks behind you. Obiajalu spun and woke up on the forest floor. The mask was in his hands, and something heavy was breathing directly behind him. Obiajalu slowly turned his head. Behind him stood a figure. Tall, thin, bones protruding under dry, stretched skin. Ancestral markings burned across its face. Its mouth hung open in a silent, unnatural scream. Its fingers, impossibly long, dragged against the earth. The curse. Awake. Obiajalu staggered up, clutching the mask. The curse twitched, then lunged. He dove aside. The ground behind him exploded as the creature's arms smashed into it. He ran. The forest warped around him. Trees bent. Shadows stretched. The air grew heavier. Branches clawed at him as he sprinted toward any path he could find. But the curse was fast. Faster than anything alive. It glided across the ground like smoke with weight. Obiajalu gasped for breath. His chest burned. He stumbled over roots. The curse closed in. Then, through the darkness, he heard her voice. The glowing girl. This way. She appeared between two trees. Obiajalu dashed toward her, diving into a narrow path just as the curse's claws snapped inches from his back. The girl touched his shoulder. The forest around them shifted, and instantly transported them to another clearing. Obiajalu collapsed to his knees. He looked up. What is that thing? She looked at him with a sadness too heavy for her young face. That is what the mask was holding back. The girl knelt beside Obiajalu. You were never meant to take the mask, she said. The ancestors put it in the tree to keep the curse contained. But now it hunts you. Obiajalu's voice cracked. So what do I do? She hesitated. There is one way to seal the curse again, but it will require something from you. What? She looked down. My life. Obiajalu froze. What? I am not alive, she whispered. I died in this forest long ago. But my spirit was bound here to protect the mask. Obiajalu's throat tightened. If you return the mask to the tree, my spirit will fade forever. But the curse will be imprisoned again. He shook his head. No, there must be another way. There isn't, she said quietly. And if we hesitate, your village dies. The ground vibrated. The curse was close again. The girl placed a hand on his shoulder. Obiajalu, you survived this forest for a reason. You saw your memories. You faced the guardian. You were chosen to return the mask, not use it. She looked into his eyes. You must be brave, where others are not. He exhaled shakily. Tears stung his eyes. I don't want you to fade. She smiled softly. Then remember me. She stood. Come. We don't have much time. Obiajalu and the spirit girl raced through the forest. The curse shrieked behind them. A horrible, fractured sound that split the air. Trees bent away from it. Animals fled. The forest trembled. Obiajalu ran harder. Branches whipped his face. His lungs burned. But he held the mask tight. The sacred tree finally came into view. Towering, ancient, waiting. But the curse was already breaking through the trees behind them. The girl grabbed his hand. Go, run. They sprinted toward the tree. The curse lunged, arms outstretched. Obiajalu dove, slamming the mask into the open hollow. The forest exploded with light. The curse screamed, its body twisting, dissolving, pulling inward toward the mask. The girl stepped into the stream of light. Her body began to fade. Obiagelu stared in horror. No, do. She gave him one last smile. Thank you for letting me finish my duty. Her form dissolved into golden dust. The curse howled and was sucked entirely into the mask. The hollow closed. The forest fell silent, completely silent. Obiagelu woke at dawn, lying at the entrance of the forest. The mask was gone. The trees were still. The silence normal again. He stumbled back to the village. The elders gasped when they saw him. You returned from Omu. Obiagelu nodded slowly. Yes, but something inside the forest will never return. He sat with the elders and told them only part of the truth. About the curse, the guardian, the mask, and the girl. The elders bowed their heads. One whispered, the forest chooses its heroes, but it never gives them back untouched. Obiagelu walked to the edge of the village. He stared at Omu, quiet, ancient, watching. He whispered, I will remember you. And for a moment, he swore he saw a faint glow between the trees. A girl's glow. Moral lessons. This is the story of the Forbidden Forest of Omu, a place the villagers feared, until a young hunter discovered that the greatest danger is not the spirits in the forest, but the truths we refuse to face inside ourselves. Thank you for listening to African Folktale Hub, where ancient stories breathe again. If this tale touched you, remember, wisdom lives in every story, and every story lives in you. See you in the next tale.